How to make this stylish circle top with straps.
This is the 2 yards of fabric in a fold of 2, as you can see. So fold into 2 so that one side has 1 yard and the other has 1 yard. So we're cutting this top in the form of a half circle. So I'll pick one side of the folded angle this way and then cross it over all the way down to create a triangle. So pick one side of the closed angle, the upper part of the closed angle, and pull it all the way to the side to create a triangle. So I'll just go ahead to repeat this again. So this is the upper part of my fabric on the closed side. So I picked it up and then I crossed it over to create a triangle this way. So this is how you fold your fabric for a half. So I make sure the fabric is facing me to avoid any kind of confusion. So the fabric is in a fold of 4 already. So on this fabric, I'm going to locate where I have my shoulder measurement divided by 2. So mine is 8 inches. So go ahead to mark your own correct measurement and connect the points this way. So this is the shoulder line. So from the completely closed part of my fabric, I'm going to take the neck width, which is 3 inches, and the depth of the neckline, which is 4 inches. And then go ahead to connect it together this way. After that, I'll take the shoulder slope of 1 inch. On this shoulder line, I'll come down by 1 inch and then connect it all the way to meet the neckline. So from the shoulder slope, I'll come down to my chest line, which is 8 inches. So to get your chest line, divide your bust measurement by 6 and add 1.5 inches to it. So you'll notice how I placed my tape rule. So go ahead to do yours that way and then connect the line this way. Then I'll take my ruler and just connect the points this way to create the armhole line. So this is what we have, and on this line I'll mark my bust measurements divided by 4, which is 10 inches, and I'll add 1.5 inches for my seam allowance to make 11.5, and then I'll go ahead to just form a curve on this line to create the armhole curve. After that, the last thing we want to do is to mark the full length of this top. So for mine, it is 24 inches plus the folding allowance. Starting from the shoulder line, I'm going to place my tape rule this way and mark 24 inches all the way around. So while marking, I'll just keep connecting the points together. So after marking, this is what we have. Let's go ahead to cut out this pattern. So from this chest line, I'm going to connect it from where I marked all the way to the full length of my top and then cut it out. So I'll cut out the neckline as well and take the shoulder slope. So if I'm going to connect from the neckline all the way to the armhole, I'll take my ruler and connect it from the neckline all the way to the armhole this way to create the halter neckline effect, and then I would cut out that part. So after cutting out, this is what we have. So I'm going to separate the front from the back panel. So the back neckline is going to be very low, so I'm going to follow this line I have here, which is the chest line, and just cut it out. Starting from the armhole area, I'll cut it out this way. So this is what we have for the back. So the next thing we want to do is to insert our straps, and I have this fabric cut out already. So I ironed it in the form of a band. So the wideness of the fabric I cut out is 2 inches. I ironed in 1/2 inch on both sides, and then I folded it into 2 again and ironed it out to make 1/2 inch, and the length of the fabric is 30 inches, although I'm still going to reduce it. So let's go ahead to attach it to our top. So I'll fold the top into 2 and just notch at the center point. So we're going to start from the wrong side of the top. This is the front panel. So I'll take one of my straps and open it up this way, and then the folded edge I'll open it up as well and place it on the neckline. So I'll go ahead to pin it, starting from that point where I notched. I'll go ahead to pin it to it this way. So I'll take it to my sewing machine and stitch from that notched point all the way down. So when I'm done doing that, I'll go ahead to notch the seam this way and then turn this over now to the right side. So this is what it looks like on the wrong side, and then I'll flip it over to the right side and close it up. So I'll close it up starting from this edge. I'll go ahead to close it up. So when I get to that notched point, I'll just proceed and close up my strap all the way down. I hope you guys understand. I'll just continue to close up my strap. So when I'm done doing that, I'll show you guys how to fix the other strap. So we're still going to start from the wrong side. Starting from the wrong side, this is the finished strap. So I'll go ahead to open it up just like I did with the other one. I'll open up the 1/2 inch I folded in and then stitch it all the way down to stop at that notched point again. So make sure not to stitch on the previous strap that you have, just stop directly on the notched point. So when I'm done doing that, I'll show you guys. So after stitching, this is what we have. So you can see I stopped directly on that notched point. So on the right side, I'm going to go ahead and flip it over and then cross it over on the previous strap this way. You guys can see what I did here. Just go ahead to cross it over now. So after crossing over, I'll go ahead to stitch it down on the right side across the previous strap this way. So from this side, I'll stitch it all the way down and close up the strap. So when I'm done with that, I'll show you guys. So after doing that, this is what it looks like. I also went ahead to secure the straps on this crossover area. So let's go ahead to fix the straps to the back. So this is the back panel now, and I've gone ahead to cut out facing that will be used to turn it over. So the first thing I'm going to do is to come in by 5 inches from one side. So this is the point where I'll be having my strap, and on the other side I'll come in by 5 inches. So remember that the depth of our neckline is 4 inches. So that means we came down by 4 inches from the shoulder, and then for the back neckline we came down by 8 inches, which is to the chest line. So I'm going to add that 8 inches to the 4 inches to make 12 inches. And I added 1 extra inch to make 13 inches. So that means I cut out 13 inches from the front neckline. I hope you guys understand. So I'll place them right sides facing each other this way, and then place my straps. Make sure to arrange the straps very well before you do this so that it doesn't come out twisted. And then I'll pin it to that 5 inches mark. Make sure your strap is not twisted while you are doing this. So after I pin down, I'll take my facing and place it right sides facing the fabric, and then go ahead to stitch it all the way down using 1/2 inch. So when I'm done stitching, I'll notch the seam and turn it over to the other side and stitch it down. So the next thing we want to do is to close up the side of our top. So I'll turn it over to the wrong side this way and then close it up on the side using 1 inch. I left the remaining 1/2 inch for a little bit of ease on the top. So when I'm done, I'll close up the other side using the same 1 inch seam allowance.